All right, Smirnoff. Official vodka of the NFL, the world's #1 vodka. Here's the deal. Game day is everything. The noise, the rituals, the passion, the dip, the wings, the dip again. Smirnoff belongs in that mix because if you're tailgating or hosting or just sitting there checking your fantasy lineup every 30 seconds, you need Smirnoff. Otherwise, it's not a real game day. They've been doing this since 1864, which is, I don't even want to do the math, a long time. They're award-winning, they make cocktails super easy, and they're all about bringing fans together. So yeah, we do game days. That's their thing. And if you're over 21, you should too. Grab a bottle of Smirnoff at your local retailer and head to Smirnoff.com to find recipes of delicious cocktails perfect for game day. Please drink responsibly. Smirnoff, #21 vodka. Distilled from grain. 40% alcohol by volume. The Smirnoff Company, New York, New York. Please do not share with anyone under legal drinking age.
Welcome to the Big Suey, presented by DraftKings,
Why are you listening to this show?
the podcast that seems very similar to the other Dan Le Batard podcast.
I'm sorry, I'm not going to apologize for that.
In fact, the only difference seems to be this imaging.
I have been tempted in restaurants just walking past tables to grab somebody's fries that if they're just there. That hasn't happened to you guys?
I've done it.
And now, here's the marching man to nowhere, Fat Face, and the habitual liar.
This episode of the Dan Le Batard Show is presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
We are not great around here about consequences, about accountability, so people say things and then they just sort of turn to dust. But Greg Cody did say when the Seattle Mariners were up 2-0 that if they didn't make it to the World Series, he would walk to Seattle. And we're going to make him do that. Now, because we don't want to kill him, we're not going to make him do it from here, but we are going to make him do it from the closest city to Seattle that has a mayor. That is how we have decided this. So it's a 4-hour walk, and we're going to make him do this. And now I have 9 olives in front of me. And he said he could do the show with 9 olives.
Oh, those are jumbos, though.
What do you mean they're
Roy's
jumbo?
were bigger, actually.
What do you mean they're jumbos? They're just olives.
There's no pits, right?
I don't know. You
Why
said
don't
you
you put 'em in
could
your
do
mouth
it.
and
Go
find
ahead and
out?
let's see. We will get
Didn't you say 9 in one bite?
Well, you're not supposed to bite them.
No, you're putting them all in.
You're putting all 9 of them
Fine.
in your mouth.
Okay.
Does it have a pit?
At the same time.
No, it's good.
All right, so go ahead and put all
They're
9
good.
of them in your mouth,
Down
and
the
then
hatch.
I will get your analysis.
And then I can eat them right away, right?
No, you have to. Well, put them first. You said you can have them
Yeah,
easily
like a
in your mouth.
chipmunk.
You said we wouldn't even notice if they
Right.
were in your mouth.
Yeah.
That's what you said. So go ahead.
Choke, please.
God, that would be great content.
All right. That's full. You can admit, you can take the L. You don't need to choke. Take the L. That's good. Your mouth is too full. You can't get all 9 in.
He's not even halfway there yet.
For the audio audience, he has about 6 in his mouth, and he's clearly at capacity.
Go ahead.
No, he has
Much
less
bigger-
than 6.
They're much bigger than I thought they'd be. Oh, they're different. The olives I had in mind are that big. I mean, these are this big. These are like the size of eggs.
You're not
It's
supposed to
ridiculous.
chew them. They're not the size of eggs, unless you're talking about like tiny little goose eggs or
Yeah.
like
Quail
eggs.
That
Thank
has
you.
to be too much. Admit
Quail
it.
egg.
That's too much salt, even for you.
You know what they're the size of? Olives.
No, these are big. I feel like I'm eating a University of Miami football uniform. They're good, though.
I'm getting nauseous looking at this.
Put all of them. Put all of the
that's
remainder.
salty.
Put all of the remainder of the olives in your mouth, and then promote this week's Greg Cody show featuring Greg Cody with the remainder of those. The
trying to
5,
kill people.
The 5 of those in your mouth. Okay, there's one that you couldn't get, but go ahead and tell us what's on the Greg Cody show featuring Greg Cody.
It's fun episode. Younger son Michael joins us.
Younger son Michael.
Well, Halloween edition of Greg Doesn't Know Movies. Plus, Christopher and I get into a huge rappy-cacking argument over the Dolphins' win yesterday. We almost come to blows on the air.
My dad has the crazy take of when the Dolphins win, bad. I mean, when they lose, bad. When they win, good.
Look, I don't believe in tanking. This guy thinks tanking is easy. He would have wanted them to go to 1-16.
Just eat the olives.
I can tell you what's going to happen. They're going to finish like 7-9. They're going to have a nice second half to the season.
They won't play the last game?
They're going to get whatever. They're going to have a mid-round draft pick. People like Christopher, they see a victory not as a good thing, but as, we just sank another 5 spots in the first round order. Who cares? Make a good pick at 16. There's a good player at 16. How about you identify him, draft him?
God,
I will.
You're damn good.
so gross.
I will get to the Brian Kelly story in a second, but I just wanted to tell you it's not just that Kirk Cousins is making $45 million a year, also has a no trade clause. No trade clause on Kirk Cousins.
Which is more offensive, Cousins making that, or Brian Kelly gets $58 million to go away?
So what is the actual number? Is it 53, 54, or 58? I've heard it argued about, but this is the second time this season. I asked the question when James Franklin was fired. I said, how many coaches can be fired in college football, and it will break into your Sunday afternoon professional NFL viewing? The news. And Brian Kelly is another one now that when those people started meeting, the important decision makers at LSU, he's 34-14 at LSU. I don't know what LSU expected to be, but 34-14 is unacceptable to them because they've lost 3 of their last 4 games in the SEC. And the last one that you were at and Lucy was at was particularly embarrassing because now Mike Elko is better than you, comes into your house with a 7-0 team, and he's now 8-0. He empties your stadium at night when Death Valley is supposed to be scary at night, and it's empty late in that game because everyone has left.
They were so overwhelmed the whole game. Like, even at halftime when LSU was ahead 18-14, 11 points came directly from mistakes from Texas A&M. Like, A&M dominated the first half as well. The score wasn't indicative. And then the second half was super embarrassing. And like usual in this spot, you get the Brian Kelly clips where it's everyone else's fault. He's yelling at everyone else. There's this one clip where after a big punt return by Texas A&M, Brian Kelly, you can read his lips. He tells the special teams coach, this is going to cost you your effing job. Can you imagine your coach tells you that during the game? This is going to cost you your effing job. Like, how does that help anyone in the middle of the game to threaten another coach with his job?
So Brian Kelly gets let go, and I think I'm still allowed to be surprised by that midseason. Am I not? I even with what I thought was a $53 million buyout, I don't know if it's 53 or 58 million, but now to make him go away when you stole him from Notre Dame, like that was a sound heard around sports. Notre Dame just got its coach stolen.
It came out of nowhere, right? Like it was a shocker.
By an SEC team that is telling you, it's announcing to the world, we're serious about football. And 4 years later,
Because people weren't clear on that before.
After 4 years and going 34-14, the standard at LSU is, nope, we win championships with Ed Orgeron. We win championships with Les Miles. We are the school that started Nick Saban. 34-14 is not good enough.
Yeah. Yeah, all 3 of the previous coaches that you mentioned all won national championships. And Brian Kelly can never beat the good teams. So, yeah, like 34-14, okay, but that's not the standard of that school.
Yeah, I mean, there is perspective. Like, wait, what are we doing to a coach that wins you 10 games basically every year? But this felt like a bad fit from the jump. This was odd. It was a strange hiring. He has that weird appearance at the basketball game where he talks about his family. And it's just weird vibes the entire time. Angry, no accountability, always someone else's fault. Now, that has always been Brian Kelly, but success usually follows him, and this wasn't the level of success that they had there. And credit to LSU for realizing there is no evidence here that he is the guy to turn it around. And if you're one of these other schools that's kind of like, what do we do? A Wisconsin or an FSU? It's like, are we in or are we out? You guys are seeing you're like the 7th, 8th best jobs available now.
Well, I do wonder for schools like that, you mentioned Wisconsin, you mentioned FSU. With all these other schools with the job openings, Penn State, Florida, LSU now.
It's crazy.
I wonder, though, if those schools like, yeah, we don't like our coach, but this is not the year to fire him because there are other jobs that are going to come before. Like, FSU may have to keep Norvell. Wisconsin may have to keep Luke Fickell, even if they don't want, because, yeah, we're not going to be able to get anyone this year.
Let's close the Brian Kelly file then at Notre Dame, at LSU, because all I remember is the funny things, the awkward things, the things that were a note off. So let's first play the sound that Mike Ryan just mentioned about him showing up in LSU all of a sudden with a Cajun accent.
It's a great night. to be a Tiger. I'm here with my family, and we are so excited to be in the great state of Louisiana, but more importantly, to be with you great fans.
What a fraud.
My family.
It's a great not to be a Tiger.
But the fact that he's a fraud doesn't dismiss the fact that the impatience in college football right now is absolutely ridiculous. The buyout total of coaches prematurely fired is over $200 million now. Over $200 million and rising. I think it's bad for the sport. I think it's ridiculous. Have a little patience. I mean, you got a guy who's got a career, great record. Give him a chance.
Did you hear Nick Saban and Kirk Herbstreit go on about this at College Game Day? It was actually Saban did the predictable thing, but he did provide a little bit of color. They debated whether or not these boosters that give so much money to these programs should have so much influence on the direction of the programs, and maybe some of these guys are firing coaches a little too soon. Yes, they should. It's like an owner in the pros. This is a pro sport. The people
who have the money
that are helping you get the kids have influence. That's how it works. If you don't like it, go somewhere else.
Should the person who pays for everything have a say?
Yeah, I love how coaches and legacy media people in college football are like, wait a second, that's going too far. What? Money has power? Let me clutch my pearls. What?
Just take a look at the White House. Wait a second, what?
Why is it bad for the sport, Greg?
It's just there's an upheaval in the sport right now that just doesn't seem fair to me. I don't mind coaching changes in mid-season, but does your coach deserve it?
Well, which one of these firings, these high-profile firings, do you think were unfair?
I think Penn State fired Franklin prematurely.
It's pretty long resume of not being able to win a big game.
He was in the championship game last year.
Well, pretty soon.
No.
Like there were like 4 years of conversations. Is it time to get rid of James Franklin? Like they
Greg,
showed astonishing patience.
He was here for 10 years.
What is when I say one of the most amazing stats in sports is that the Pittsburgh Steelers have only had 3 coaches. What is the average lifespan? I don't know the answer to the question I'm asking, but the average lifespan for an NFL coach, because what this is merely the professionalization of this sport. I don't think it's bad for this sport for it to go professional. I think college football was more interesting this weekend and many weekends than pro football is. College football has done nothing but grow. The things that happen around college football have been very good for college football. Now, it's not good for amateurism or the illusion of amateurism, but we've buried that day. It's professional sports now,
right.
And these coaches are being treated like NFL coaches, most of whom I would guess don't get 4 years. Now, in the pros, though, 34-14 doesn't get you fired.
No, you're like the best.
Oh, of course, right.
Between 3.5 and 4 years appears to be the average of an NFL head.
69 games.
And
Nice.
now, by the way, Mike Tomlin's under a little bit of pressure in Pittsburgh. So no coach is immune from this. But I think it's accelerated and exaggerated in college football. And I look at it from a personal standpoint. Did James Franklin deserve to be fired? Now, you can argue yes.
Yes.
You might be in the majority. But I would argue no. I think when you did what he did last season, overall a very good year, and you're a few games into the next season, and you're already pulling the trigger on getting rid of this guy, I think that's premature.
What does Zyn give you? Not just smoke-free nicotine satisfaction, but real freedom. Freedom to do what you love and choose your rewards. With Zyn Rewards, you can redeem points for premium tech, outdoor gear, and gift cards to your favorite retailers. Find your Zyn and keep finding rewards that fit your lifestyle at zyn.com/rewards. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Oh, the football season. Cruel beast. Sometimes it gives, sometimes it rips away, sometimes you got good times, sometimes you got bad times. But one thing that'll always lift your spirit is making it Miller time. Because game day just hits different with Miller Lite in your hand. 50 years of great taste, simple ingredients, and that iconic golden color that you can spot from across the room. It's a real eye catcher, folks. And here's the kicker. Just 96 calories, 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces. The original light beer since 1975, and still hitting different 5 decades later. So, whatever your game day looks like, remember Miller time is always a good time. Miller Lite, great taste, 96 calories. Go to MillerLite.com/Dan to find delivery options near you, or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere they sell beer. It's Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.
Don Batard.
I'm gonna get some golf ASMR.
Stugotz.
Oh, me.
This is the Don Batard Show with the Stugotz.
Well, I mean, what hurt James Franklin, you're right that he did win playoff games last year. He won 2 playoff games, as a matter of fact. But those 2 playoff games that they won, what hurt him was SMU and it was Boise State. Like, if you're playing if at least one of those was to get to Power 4, I understand SMU's Power 4, okay? So you get what I'm saying? But if one of them were a higher profile team, maybe the conversation's a little bit different.
Well, he's playing who he's scheduled to play.
Well,
What's he gonna do?
but it's not. I would do this math. Put this on the poll as well, Juju, at Le Batard Show. Does it matter more that you lost to Northwestern than it does that you won 2 playoff games against SMU and Boise State?
I think it does.
Well, clearly it did to Penn State, because what got him fired was the last loss. I mean, it was cumulative. But what's happened to both these coaches, just so that you understand, I know James Franklin's record was, I'm losing it now, it was something like 34-8 or something. But it's the last 3 of 4 that get you gone. Like, it's not anything that happened before that. It's what made it the 14 at Brian Kelly's number, because he lost 3 of the last 4 that he's lost, and they're like, okay, let's speed this up. But it's still shocking. Like, I'm not yet at a place where I'm so immune to the professionalization of college sports that I'm not shocked. That video, it feels like that was a couple of weeks ago, the video that we just showed of him. That doesn't feel like it was 4 years ago that he was being introduced at LSU.
James Franklin was 104-45 at Penn State.
34-8 over the previous 3 seasons before this year. Also, just while I have a second, I just want to say, like, I do support individual military personnel.
He doesn't support the troops, Dan.
No, I mean, I do. I do. No, what I said is I do support individual. I support troops.
Say the support.
I support troops. No, I do. Look, I'm not going to be deposed.
While we're cleaning house, Dad, how you doing after all that sodium?
Well, speaking of the military, I can report right now that coffee does not go with olives. It's just a mix. It's a combination that you don't want to be a part of. Trust me. I'm going to be running to the bathroom like Richmond took Virginia.
I like that.
You guys just saw one of the greatest tricks in the Greg Cody playbook, when he just wants to say what he wants to say and doesn't want to address anything that's been offered to him by the show. Speaking of the military,
Jeremy brought it up.
There was an olive tether.
Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Speaking of the military, do olives go with coffee? Yes or no? Let's play. Let's just clean out the Brian Kelly file here. Earlier this season, he got very mad with a reporter, and I want to just play the sound again. This was recently, and I want to play the sound of him banging on a table, and these are the only Brian Kelly memories I have. So play whichever one you want here, and we will play both of them and empty the Brian Kelly file.
And we're sitting here again. We're sitting here again talking about the same things.
It's just him pounding the desk.
Play that one again so I could just hear what sounds like cutlery flying off of the press conference table.
And we're sitting here again. We're sitting here again talking about the same things.
Now play him getting mad at a reporter. This was after a game they won. This was during happier times.
What are you seeing with your offense?
Stop. Really? Is that the first question? We won the game 20-10. Try another question. What do you want me to tell you? I just laid it out for you. We played the game to win the game. We played the game to win the game.
All right. How about third down then? What is going on with third down?
It's one game. Last game, we were great on third down. You're looking at this from the wrong perspective. LSU won the football game. Won the game. I don't know what you want from me. What do you want? You want us to win 70-0 against Florida to keep you happy?
No, I think people want to know why you can't run the ball, quite honestly.
We can run the ball. Did you see the last play of the game? That's all you need. You just need one. There's a ridiculous questions. And I'm getting tired of it. That football team just worked their tail off to get an SEC win, and you want to know what's wrong. You know what? You're spoiled. You're spoiled. This team is 17-1 at night. 17-1. Give them some respect. How about that? Give them some respect instead of micro-analyzing every little thing. This is ridiculous. For a group of seasoned reporters, that kind of question is so out of line.
Wow. I want to believe with all of my heart that belittled reporter worked behind the scenes to get Brian Kelly fired. I believe it happened.
I can relate to the saying micro and then that pause of like searching for the word you're actually looking for. Stop micro analyzing everything.
He circled back around and made sure that he got that word on the back end. Also, no longer 17-1 at night. They pride themselves, Zaslow can say, having been there.
It was my first time there this weekend. Yeah.
They pride themselves on being a very difficult place to play at night. I remember the first time I learned it. The University of Miami went there, and they had a tiger in a cage outside of the Hurricane locker room. They put it there, and the Hurricanes were sticking their hands in the cage, and then won 44-3. That the nighttime LSU feeling is something they take pride in. He got fired because he lost that way at night.
Yeah. Saturday night in Death Valley. Like, that's their thing. And, yeah, it was really loud. I was on the field, Greg. I had a field pass for the game. And it was, especially in the first half, they made cool plays. They had an interception in the end zone. They got a block punt for a safety. Place is very, very loud. But Texas A&M didn't care.
Did you speak with Mike the Tiger or no?
No, we actually went to go visit Mike the Tiger. Homeboy was hiding. Didn't want to come out. Didn't get to see him.
Him and his team.
Whatever, man.
You see any cool celebrities on the sideline?
Shaq. Yeah, I was standing right behind Shaq.
What did you say? That's a bad job by you. Why would you stand right behind
him? Well, I mean, I was off to the side, but I'll tell you, man, there's like this whole crowd of people. We're standing on the sidelines watching the game. Shaq just sees over everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, no one ever blocks his view. He sees, it's a lot of people trying to see what's going on. And Shaq he just gets to stand there, unobstructed.
Do you realize, though, when you say you're standing behind Shaq, I could cover the entirety of the earth and find maybe like Yao Ming in terms of humans throughout the entirety of Earth that would be the worst to stand behind trying to see something. Shaq has to be at the very top of the list.
But there were people in front of Shaq, too, but it doesn't matter. It's an unobstructed view. He just gets to stand there and never has to tell anyone in front of him to sit down.
Could you hear what he was mumbling or no?
No, he was just chilling, watching the game.
What did he say?
He tried to say Wembanyama, but his father wasn't listening, and then he started leaking confidence.
Yeah, but Wembanyama is a few inches taller, but he's not
as wide.
Like a refrigerator like Shaq is.
It is a pretty special place that Brian Kelly occupies, where like no one thinks he should have stayed. You can't find an ally in the media.
It feels also like everyone universally believes he's a massive jerk.
Yeah, everyone's pretty happy about this. Pretty pumped.
You know, someone died in South Bend.
He is a jerk, but will he get another job quick? Hell yeah.
You think so?
I don't know.
No?
Somewhere.
Notre Dame should take a look at him if they lose Marcus Freeman. How great would that be?
Wow.
People don't like arrogance, like it's sports fans especially, but they don't like unearned arrogance because Brian Kelly carries himself as if he's better than you and better than he actually is. And so to see it unmasked, people take a delight in it.
You can be a dick when you're winning national championships, right? And everybody's like, oh, okay, wow, he's the genius leader. He's so tough. He's so this and that. But when you're 34-13 and you get blown up by Mike Elko and Texas A&M, you're the dick now. Like there's no genius behind it.
Right. I mean, Bill Belichick was arrogant when he was winning, and New England loved it.
Let's cover here some college football in a second, but before we do that, I just wanted to talk for a moment in professional football, which obviously all of us know, super dangerous, super violent. Rare is the time, though, that you get what happened with Scatterboo yesterday, where Romo yells, "Oh no!" Jackson Dart turns his back and won't look over there because the leg is so mangled, the ankle is so broken. And then the telecast says, we're not going to show that again. And that's that telecast. Every other telecast that does show it does it with an assortment of warnings on the front end that tells you not to look. And there are two kinds of people on earth, the people who want to see that and the people who don't. Which are you? Because I am someone who doesn't. I have not yet seen the injury. Thank you for all the warnings.
You haven't seen it, Dan?
I don't want to see it. I don't want to see that. It's a little too true for me on what it is that we're enjoying so much every weekend. I don't want to see it. I looked away. I still have not seen it.
He was asking to be helped up initially at first, which is just, this guy's a psycho.
He was trying to get ready for next play.
It's insane. It's a testament to how much people like him and like his style of play.
How about that? I mean,
you got a standing ovation from Eagles
right.
fans.
You know how likable you are if the Eagle fan is upset that you're leaving the game?
Every football fan was super bummed because that is potentially a life-altering injury for a dude that was well on his way in that market to becoming a superstar. From his personality to his style of play to the novelty of him being white at that position, the guy had everything in front of him, and every football fan let out the same kind of, damn, man.
I think with modern medicine, though, like, he's going to be back. He's going to be fine. Like, how many times have we seen, Dan, I know you haven't seen the injury, but
Dak had that injury.
Dak, Jordan Travis, like, all these injuries
Well,
were...
Jordan Travis is medically retired.
Well, yes, okay, understood. But Dylan Gabriel...
And it's not about speed with Scadaboo. It's more about toughness. So he'll probably be okay.
We can't say that. We can't know that. It is a badly fractured ankle that in a sport where we all know how violent it is. Which are you, the person who looks or the person who doesn't? I was grateful for all the warnings. I didn't want to see the slow motion replay. I didn't look too closely at what happened to Tyreek Hill either because of how unpleasant that was.
Not too closely, but you looked.
Well, I couldn't avoid. No, I didn't
was
look.
It one eye?
No.
Give it a little De Niro look?
Like Tua.
Through your fingers? De Niro!
Good call by you. It looked in real time awful, and I didn't look at the slow motion stuff afterward.
Slow motion was worse.
On Tyreek Hill. But when Mike says Philadelphia fans, not only did they boo Santa famously, when Michael Irvin was on the field and it looked like paralysis, but Philly fans were cheering. Philly can be an unusual amount of cruel. Scadaboo was the kind of story that it seemed everybody in football was enjoying.
Yeah, they weren't cheering Irvin the way that they were cheering with Cam Scadaboo. It was different. They were happy Michael Irvin got hurt. Everybody was really bummed. And I think everyone knows this guy was already being put on a launch pad to superstardom. And it sucks. He's a really fun player to watch.
When it comes to that sport, though, and very quietly last week, at least around here, I don't know what kind of reverberations there were nationally, but in the game the Giants played last week, you saw they got fined $315,000. An assortment of people got fined because Jackson Dart went into the tent for the concussion protocol, and then Dayball went right in behind him.
So did Dart.
And they went in. Well, Jackson Dart went in the tent because he was the one that was concussed.
Oh, excuse me. Scadaboo also went in.
Steve Martin followed them.
It was weird that he got fined too. Steve Martin also got fined. It was weird. He had the arrow through his head. He was looking in, but they got fined $315,000 because it looked like the optics of it that they were pressuring the doctor. Hey, get Jackson Dart back out here, and then Jackson Dart gets back out there.
Yeah.
$315,000 is a good amount of money to fine people here, but. Any national reverberations on that? Does anyone care? Everyone kind of just sort of understands, yes, of course they're going to try to get their quarterback back in the game, whether he's concussed or not.
No, that was different. That crossed the line, and that's why Dayball himself was fined $200,000 of that amount. Head coaches just don't do that. There's been the NFL has really made a separation of church and state, so to speak, of football and medicine with that tent. And if you go in there for a concussion, it's supposed to be the doctors and the concussed player. It's not supposed to be any personnel from the team. And the next time that happens, the head coach will be fined more than Dayball just was, because that's what the NFL does. They have a system of, all right, you know now that you're not supposed to do that. Next one who does it gets fined $500,000.
I mean, it definitely went in there. Like, Scadaboo definitely went in there. So, yo, dog, we need you. Let's go. Come on, get your helmet. I mean, that's definitely what happened in that spot.
Right, for sure. But when the head coach does it, it's worse.
Dan Le Batard.
Surely every time you're watching this, you recognize that your wife is laughing that she married
Yes.
Larry David.
Yeah, I do, yeah. One of the great characters in the history of television, in my humble opinion. And to my credit, My personality.
In my humble opinion, followed by to my credit.
To my credit,
it's amazing.
My personality
it's just amazing.
does predate Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Stugotz.
Oh, wow.
I'm not going to
okay.
say Larry David patterned himself
you
after
copy.
me.
All right, put it on the poll, please, Juju. Did Greg Cody copyright being an asshole long before Larry David?
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
The only other thing I took from that Giants-Eagles game is, again, the tush push was officiated poorly. They fumbled on it. Jalen Hurts fumbled, and the Giants should have had the ball. And these guys can't officiate that play. They don't know how to. It's obvious. There's no other play in football, not pass interference, not anything, that is as hard to officiate as that play, given how many times there are mistakes where we're all watching on television and where it's 7 or 8 times we've already been. The Eagles have done something illegal on that play, and they're getting away with it. And in this case, they got away with a fumble. He absolutely stretched the ball as if he was over the goal line, and it was absolutely taken from him, and they blew it dead, and they blew forward progress dead. But his forward progress was not. But on that play, the forward progress is not ever dead. They could do it from their 1 yard line and end up in your end zone because they just keep pushing everybody.
That's what I think maybe they're trying to I think that might be the correction where they're trying to blow that play dead, the forward progress dead, as early as possible to take away some of that advantage that the Eagles have had. Because you're right, it can go on forever.
That play not being called a fumble may end up hurting the Eagles long term. Like, they might look back at that play and be like, we got to get this out of here. It's too weird. Whereas if they call a fumble there, bad for the Eagles in the moment, might be better long term for the Eagles and the rule.
The only football game from yesterday that I actually want to talk about is that Bengals-Jets game, even though it was an absurd game for a lot of different reasons. But before I do that, I want to ask you guys from the college football weekend, what did you guys think was the most relevant thing from the weekend, given these choices, okay? Mike Ryan appears to be right on the SEC is a total fraud. Like Texas, Alabama, laboring against Mississippi State and South Carolina, and both of them getting fortunate to win those games.
Congratulations, Vanderbilt, for limping through the line, winning by 1 score against a backup quarterback. You get to leapfrog a team that won by 35.
Top 10.
Vanderbilt ends up with a better team than I think they have ever had.
Yeah, no, they're a good team, but
ranked higher than Miami now.
Yeah, but
that should show you how bad the SEC is. They're Vanderbilt.
Well, they beat Mizzou with their backup quarterback. Let's rank them ahead of Miami. Vanderbilt will lose to Texas because that's the SEC. The ACC with a better publicist.
And Mizzou, is throwing a Hail Mary that's being stopped at the 1 yard line. But you've got BYU is 8-0. Okay, Georgia Tech. This is the best Georgia Tech team that I have seen, and I think they had a co-national champion. Did they not? Did Georgia Tech not win a co-national championship? Do I have that wrong? I may have that wrong. But 8-0 and 5. They're 5-0 in the ACC for the first time. Haynes King is going to be at the Heisman ceremony and should be. Like he's a great college quarterback. So Georgia Tech is quietly 8-0. Indiana appears to be legitimately very good. Texas A&M appears to be legitimately very good at a time that very few teams are very good.
Dan, 1990 under Bobby Ross, they finished 11-0-1 and split the national championship with Colorado.
Bobby Ross.
A long time ago.
Ole Miss beats Oklahoma.
Yeah, that probably is the one that stands out the most to me is Ole Miss. I mean, they bounced back, obviously, from a tough loss last weekend in Athens, and Oklahoma's clearly not as good as people thought they were going to be. Oklahoma's probably done now, 2 losses the last 3 weeks, but I think Ole Miss is a fun team. I think they're a fun story. I think Lane Kiffin's obviously a lot of fun, so Ole Miss winning that game on the road, that was probably the biggest.
Are we not assuming, though, that Oklahoma is a fraud, at least in part, because Mateer hurt his hand?
Mateer, he hasn't looked the same since he rushed back from that injury. Now teams adjust. We've seen Miami kind of dip once people realize what they're doing. But I was so into this Ole Miss Oklahoma game because those teams are good football teams. Lane Kiffin kind of won this game with the presser at the start of the week, which is basically, Venables is stealing signals. That's why their defense is so good. And Venables kind of took that one on the chin. It's like, well, it's a testament to our preparation.
I mean, didn't Robert Saleh and Liam Cohen almost throw hands over that?
Yeah, but Lane Kiffin, he knew how to get inside the heads of the opponent, and we had this tremendous moment after the game where he's talking to David Stone, who comes up to him after the game to try to congratulate him, and Lane Kiffin is unlike any other coach in the sport right now.
Coach Kiffin.
Better now than before.
Are you talking a little bit to Oklahoma's players?
This guy yelled at me like during the game like 5 times how great they were, and we can't score on them.
Who else can get away with that?
That's great.
I mean, that seems to me like Lane Kiffin, because there was a time where this definitely was not true. Lane Kiffin must be super likable to these players, because I think 99% of coaches who are going to do that right there on live television to a player who just lost a big game, it's not going to end the way that interaction just ended.
There was a news tidbit that I saw, and I found it refreshing, because Lane Kiffin, whose name is always in these job searching rumor mills, he addressed it with his team beforehand, and he let all the reporters know, like, we're going to talk about the Penn State thing, the Florida thing head on. This is a newer locker room, and these guys haven't been through it before, and use it as a testament to their program. And it was kind of cool to see him acknowledge it that way, as opposed to some of these other coaches like Fran Brown or even Marcus Freeman, who does a really good job of saying the right things, and his actions actually follow what he says, but they don't actually close the door on it. Lane Kiffin's not closing the door on any of these job rumors. He has a very good agent, and at the very least, he'll get a raise out of it. But he doesn't try to bullshit you with it or his players, and I really like that.
It really is a perfect spot for Lane Kiffin, because he can say what he wants, do what he wants, and exceed all expectations. Anytime he wins that game, it's a surprise, because no one's actually expecting anything in the SEC. It is a perfect job for Lane Kiffin to have. But I want to play all of that sound again, because I feel like you guys missed something, and this is largely a visual joke, but I want to show all of that again with Lane Kiffin, and also remind you that he's allowing his social media staff to play around with this too, because Ole Miss just sent out after that game, sooner, try later is what they did on
that's well done.
Via tweet. Oh, really? Okay, let's see here.
Sooner rather than later. Come on. Are you running the account?
I want to show you guys something funnier that I think that you missed here in this video. Go ahead and play that whole video again. I think we missed something.
Coach Kiffin.
Better now than before.
Are you talking a little bit to Oklahoma's players?
This guy yelled at me like during the game like 5 times how great they were, and we can't score on them.
I want you guys to look at why Oklahoma isn't what they used to be. It's right there in the middle.
Who the hell's that guy?
That guy right there is the reason that Oklahoma is no longer any good at football.
That has to be a kicker.
He is half
What's Ethan doing on their sideline?
He is half the size of Lane Kiffin.
That's Ray Finkel.
How does that guy have better field access than Zaz? How is that possible that guy, look at the size of that person. That person is not the kicker. That person is the kicking T with a mustache. That person is tiny. That is not Oklahoma football.
I'm going to look up. What number does that look like? 42, 43? Who is that
All right,
fool?
you're going to look that up?
I'm going to look him up.
David Stone is huge.
Let me see.
Yeah, but Lane Kiffin is not. Lane Kiffin is not huge, and that is a tiny person. Our Hampton Farms Nuttiest Fan nominees, how many of those do we have this week, Christopher?
Oh, wow. It's the Nuttiest Fan, brought to you by Hampton Farms. Get nutty with Hampton Farms, the official peanut of bowl season. Vote for your favorite Nutty Fan at Le Batard Show on Instagram. Dan, we have 2 nominees this week. We have a naked duck. In the Oregon student section, we had the duck taking his shirt off, which made him completely nude. Luckily, he's kind of covering himself up with his right hand, but I think
he is.
Does. I feel like I should be looking away.
It does.
Why does that feel so revealing?
But it's not revealing, because it seems like the duck does not have genitalia. It seems like there's nothing.
Dan, the way the ducks are set up, it's actually inside. Yeah.
Okay, so it's true to form.
And he is competing with an Indiana fan, an old man who is taking your shirt off seems to be the trend of the season. People like to take their shirt off, and this Indiana fan decided he saw the crew doing it. He's like, I'm in. Let's do it. And he whipped off his shirt. And it's an old man shirtless. What's better than that?
It's harassment.
He doesn't seem to be doing it. Somebody's like making him do it.
I love that energy. Chris, we've done this before, but show me your belly button.
That's a pretty good build for an old man.
That's a pretty good build.
Yeah, that's not bad. Good for you, old man. I wish I had that look in the mirror, I'll tell you that.
I feel like you do have that look in the mirror.
All right, you asked for it. Take your shirt off.
I feel like that's exactly your look in the mirror. I feel like he's got the same belly as you, a little bit swollen, probably drinks a little too much beer, bit of a beer belly.
Oh, and I don't?
Looks great.
No, I think
Yeah.
you and him have similar builds.
It's true. We're both pasty and old looking. That's true. Yeah, I've just got a little bit more gut. He's got the little flap over the belt there. I like that. Well done, sir. Well done.
It feels like your entire body is wrapped too tightly in sausage casing.
Yeah,
that's fair. Not unlike him.
That's fair.
No, that's
well,
fair.
in Greg's defense, the 9 olives today don't really help. The sodium intake makes you kind of bloated.
I tell you what, between that and the bacon I had earlier, I'm on a sodium high right now.
Coffee doesn't mix.
Yeah.
It's tough for you.
Plus, I got extra caffeine. I'm drinking extra caffeine coffee lately.
Quick
What?
addendum.
Get me all jacked up. What?
I didn't mean Dylan Gabriel. I meant Mackenzie Milton, by the way. Wrong Hawaiian quarterback.
You drink 4 cups a day. Why would you up the caffeine?
It's a natural high, I'm not a dope fiend. I need a natural high.
Good. People were wondering if you may have been a dope fiend.
Oh, the football season. Cruel beast. Sometimes it gives, sometimes it rips away, sometimes you got good times, sometimes you got bad times. But one thing that'll always lift your spirit is making it Miller time. Because game day just hits different with Miller Lite in your hand. 50 years of great taste, simple ingredients, and that iconic golden color that you can spot from across the room. It's a real eye catcher, folks. And here's the kicker. Just 96 calories. 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces. The original light beer since 1975 and still hitting different 5 decades later. So, whatever your game day looks like, remember Miller time is always a good time. Miller Lite. Great taste. 96 calories. Go to MillerLite.com/Dan to find delivery options near you, or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere they sell beer. It's Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.